Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. The first of some builds that you haven't seen for some time I'm going to be tackling today. I'm going to be continuing pack 2 of the Agora Models release of build the U.S.S. Constitution. And to give you an idea of how this is currently looking, this is where I'm currently up to at the moment. Now, I have done quite a bit of work since you actually last saw this, and I think it's probably important to give you a catch-up of where we're actually up to at the moment. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, it is available for Agora Models. I have put a link in the video description, and you have got that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. And with the cross beams we're going to be putting in, we're using the 5x5mm wooden strips here. Now, you will see that I've already put some lines on these. Let me explain that to you. So when it comes to these cross beams, you see I've laid these out here. We're actually going to be putting them into the next ones up. We've done these ones. We're going to be going into the next ones up here. So what you need to do is line these up on here, ready for them to go in. So that's the first. This one here will be the second. First, second, first, second. So we're working on the second ones here. So what I've done is I've marked these out, and I have got my block and this to go in here, and I have got my saw as well, and I'm going to be starting to cut these to length. So to that end, let's mark these out here. I'll just do the top three first, and then what I've done is where I've put a line there, I'm actually just moving that over to the second one and continuing that there, so I know where the cut lines are going to be, and it's wasting the least amount of wood. I then want to drop down to here, and I'll get these sawn off. Now I'm going to do this with all the frames that we've made so far. And there you go, they're all cut off there. And as you can see, I've got limited amount of wastage here. I do have a sanding stick at the ready should I need it, but as you can see I do have nice clean cuts here, so I'm not really going to have that problem. So this is the Constitution as we have it at the moment, and ignoring this first rib here, we're going to be moving on to this one here first, and we're going to be putting these blocks across here. So that's two in. I'm just going to put this third one in just to double check this one. If you do need to make the odd adjustment, obviously I can just sand this, and that's going to go in perfectly. So now I know that's going to work, I'm going to glue all these into place. And there you go, they're all in, they're all glued in, but at the moment I'm going to leave that glue to dry. What I've been doing is using just a dry cotton bud here to any excess glue, just wipe it off, but that excess glue is going to dry clear, so looking good. Now I don't want any warpage in this at all, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be putting in these spaces again. So I've just put those in like that. I'm going to leave that to dry. As you can see, all the battens are in. You can also see the continuity in this video because I'm now on my new workbench. But what I've done now is we've got to take some 3mm by 3mm battens, and we need to space them out, as you can see on the end here. Now the gap between this edge and this edge needs to be 25mm on each side, and that's going to dictate how this runs through the rest of the battens there. So I need to now create, I think it's 60 battens, and I've already cut them out, as you can see there, ready to go.
The box a riot with parts so fine, each piece a step back in time. Wooden beams and sails to raise, the Constitution in my gaze. Hands will carve and glue will bind, a ship of dreams from another time. Piece by piece it comes alive, building pride as I strive. The rigging calls for steady hands, circles these model lands. Each mast I place, a sailor's tale, ocean winds and a ship that sails. Hands will carve and glue will bind a ship of dreams from another time. Piece by piece it comes alive, building pride as I strive. Sawdust falls like history snow. In every detail my care will show. Each plank a whisper of battles fought, a legacy this craft has brought. Agora's kit, a builder's dream, turning parts into a grand esteem. With every touch, I feel the lore of the Constitution's mighty roar. Hands will carve and glue will bind a ship of dreams from another time. Piece by piece it comes alive, building pride as I strive.
So as you can see, all of those battens are now in. Now, before I stain these with the stain that I did on the others, I do want to get my file over these and make sure they're filed perfectly flat. And I want to do that for all 4 of these runs. So you may be asking why I've got a thermal detonator on here. A couple of reasons. First off, I wanted to make sure that all the ribs of this are exactly straight. There's no warpage and they're equal distance each side. And obviously, to keep that going, we do use these brackets when we're putting those center battens in. The other thing I want to make sure of is that this is actually level here as well. Let me try and get here. And it's not lifted up at one side, which it is, which is cool. So I did have a little bit of liftage up here, which I've just re-glued. So I'm going to let that set now. But now I'm in a position where I can actually stain this. So to stain this now, I'm in a unique position to have my very own painting bench. And I haven't got to move to do that. All I've got to do is press this button. Better take the ship out first, so otherwise that's going to go silly places. So just to reiterate, I am using my own stain for this. I'm using a light oak stain. But I'm going to get this all stained. And there you go, that's all stained and it's nice and level. Put my Constitution frame to one side because I'm going to be working a little bit just on the mast. We're not fitting the mast yet, but I am just making a notch for this to fit into the frame. Now what I've done here is I'm measuring 5 mils just around this section here, and I'm rolling it on my scalpel here so I know exactly what 5 mils is, and that's the 5 mil width. Because what I want to do, this is a 10 mil batten, I need to reduce this end here to 6 mil, and I'm going to be doing that by filing it. So using that there, I'm just going to take my time and go around filing this down so it's 6 mil on this end. Now, you know what, if I had a lathe, it would have made a lot easier work of that, but there you go, managed to do that. I'm just bringing over the frame again. Now, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be putting a temporary platform in, and to that I'm going to need this page here, PL01, and I'm going to be making these battens that are going on the very tops. So I'm just going to line these up and get these cut out. So there we go, those battens are in there. Now this part here, which comes off of this board, I'm going to be putting into place on top of here. So that's an example of how that's going to look. And then I can put the mast down here and engage it into the hole that I've got at the bottom. That's going to work absolutely perfect. You can also see how this mast fits into the bottom just there. I can now remove all of this. Don't need that now. That was just to ensure that these are actually fitting in okay, including all the battens. Finally, I'm going to check a part in the middle as well. So I'm just going to be taking up this little anchor point for the mast in the middle now, which is this one here. And if you look at this one, it has got a couple of lines in it. And those lines are actually going to be going over the frame here. But this does need to sit into this frame. So it does mean that I've actually got to cut some of this wood away. So I am using my razor saw at the moment just to cut a channel here. And then I really do need a chisel, but I haven't got a chisel. So what I have got is a file. So I'm just going to file away this material. So as you can see, that's actually going to fit on there like that. And that's actually fitting really good. Now, before I glue that in, I'm going to put the middle panel in now, which looks like this. So once again, we're going to be putting 3 battens in here, which I've already cut to size. And as you can see, I've got those 3 battens in here, and I'm going to be laying this on top. Now, this is actually just going to go over the 2 battens that I've got here. So once again, as you can see, that's in there just like that. When I put this through this time, the mast, it's going to hit these battens here. So what I need to do is I need to cut the battens so that I can actually get this all the way down here. And as you can see now, where I've cut this mast will be able to go all the way down there. So now I know that mast is going to fit in there, I'm going to just glue this into place. And I'm going to let that glue dry because I've had to cut that out, as you can see there. But the mast will eventually be able to go through there, intersecting those panels. But by doing that, that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go, that's pack 2 of the Agora Models U.S.S Constitution complete. Now, that's taken me a couple of months, and I'm telling you now, this build is going to be spanning over years, not just months. So don't be surprised if it's a while before pack 3 gets done. I will try and collate them all in one go, but what I tend to do is film a little bit at a time and then just keep it on my computer and then keep going back to it and then having a video like you see there. But I hope you like that. This is my first foray into model boat wooden ships. Got that the wrong way around. As you know, the fate of some of the other ones I've tried are here, and this one seems to be progressing a lot better. So I very much am enjoying this. If you do want to get this for yourself, as again, I put a link in the video description. You've also got the link to Agora Models in all of my links there, where you can also find things like my Amazon store, my merch store, all of my social media channels. But if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. One thing on subscription, did you know subscribing to the channel is completely free, and 45% of the people that watch this channel aren't subscribed? Why not? Just click that button. You will be notified every time a new video comes out. Anyway, I really hope you like that video. Take care.